Hello, my name is Kevin Annett. This is Sunday, August 4th, 2013, and I'm reading this statement from the International Common Law Court of Justice from the former Dominion of Canada, which is now under common law jurisdiction under the authority of the Republic of Granada. The statement today is entitled, "The Roman Catholic Church is declared a transnational criminal organization." The Brussels Proclamation. This is a legal notice and instrument issued by the International Common Law Court of Justice. On February 25th, 2013, the Roman Catholic Church and its highest officials were lawfully convicted of engaging in crimes against humanity and an international criminal conspiracy to aid and abet child trafficking. This verdict of the International Common Law Court of Justice found that the Church and its governing body, the Vatican Incorporated, actually constitutes a criminal body under international law. On July 11th, 2013, Pope Francis I, Jorge Bergoglio, confirmed the criminal status of his church by establishing new internal church policies that criminalize the disclosure of information and actually counsel and compel criminality among his followers, clergy, and employees of the church. Now, these policies and Bergoglio's own public statements reaffirm the existing canon law policy known as crimen solicitanus, that actually protects child rapists. And it does so by directing all Catholics to suppress evidence of child rape and trafficking within their church, and by threatening punishment of those who disclose such evidence. By these remarks and policies, Bergoglio has not only ordered his followers to break the law, but also to commit treason in their own countries by violating child protection laws and undermining police agencies. The Pope, in short, is not simply facilitating international child abuse and trafficking, but he is heading a criminal conspiracy against the sovereignty of other nations and the law of nations. Now, under international law, such actions amount to an act of war. Those responsible are justifiably declared to be an enemy of peace-loving humanity, and the human race has the right to protect itself against such war-making states. Let it be known to the world, therefore, that Jorge Bergoglio, Pope Francis, and the head of the Church of Rome is indeed such an enemy of humanity. And accordingly, on Thursday, August 1st, 2013, a bench warrant order was issued by the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels for the immediate arrest and trial of Jorge Bergoglio for these crimes. Now, here's a copy of the bench warrant issued by the Common Law Court, and this will be attached to the broadcast and the email that goes along with this. Let it also be recognized that as a proven criminal body engaged in human trafficking, money laundering, and child torture, the Roman Catholic Church constitutes an international criminal organization that is waging war against humanity, its children, and its laws. Accordingly, the Roman Catholic Church is subject to all of the sanctions provided by the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, introduced into the General Assembly in November 2000. These sanctions include the seizure of all funds, property, and assets of the Church, the arrest of church officers, and the return of all stolen lands and goods held by that Church. In effect, recognized criminal bodies like the Vatican and its Church have forfeited the right to exist and are considered by civilized humanity to be dissolved. Not only their wealth, but their policies, their laws, and authority are forever annulled. And anyone who participates in such disestablished organizations or who continues to pay for their operations is committing a crime by colluding with convicted felons. The top officers of the Church of Rome, starting with Pope Francis himself, are in fact fugitives from justice under bona fide arrest warrants issued on August 1st and earlier on March 5th, 2013. Therefore, these church officers no longer have any legal or moral claim to the allegiance or obedience of anyone inside or outside their church, and both they and their organization must be actively repudiated and disestablished under the law. Now, on a broader level, the conviction and disestablishment of the Roman Catholic Church is not only legal and necessary, but long overdue. For it is an indisputable fact that for centuries the Church of Rome has acted as a predatory foreign power waging unrestricted warfare against the human race. The Church of Rome and its client governments have unlawfully attacked, occupied, and destroyed entire nations, raped and drained lands of their vast wealth and vitality, waged cruel wars of aggression and genocide against other peoples and murdered millions of them, restricted and subverted their rights and liberties, stolen, tortured, and destroyed countless millions of children, and kept the world in a state of fear, dependency, and impoverishment. And these crimes continue today with the help of governments around the world. Some of these colluding powers, including the Crown of England and the churches and government of Canada, have also been indicted and convicted by our common law court for such genocidal crimes, and they now stand as well under the same legal order of disestablishment and annulment. But any government or agency in the world that continues to recognize or subsidize the Church of Rome and its officials is objectively engaged in a crime and is also subject to sanctions. In particular, the government of Italy, through its obligations to the Vatican under the so-called Lateran Treaty, is an active participant in the crimes of the Roman Catholic Church, and through this treaty is engaged in the same criminal conspiracy and war crimes of that church. The Italian government and any state that funds or recognizes the Vatican can therefore justifiably be considered as rogue terrorist regimes that are a threat to the human race, and are therefore subject to the full weight of the law, sanctions, and force normally used against war-making nations. And this is the nub of the issue, why it is necessary for history to pronounce judgment on criminal regimes when established laws refuse to do so. For today, history is embodied in the capacity of men and women everywhere to reclaim the law and use it to disestablish the powers that for centuries have oppressed them and destroyed their children. Our International Common Law Court of Justice is a first step in this reclamation process, and its conviction of Pope Benedict in the Vatican last February was an opening shot heard around the world. Today, this August 4th proclamation is the next step in annulling the power of the oldest and the most violent corporation in human history, the Church of Rome. As such, this proclamation is both a statement of purpose and a legal instrument by which men and women everywhere can adhere to the law and to justice and enforce the verdict of history and this court against the Vatican and its criminal regime. Therefore, let it be known and enacted that 1. Jorge Bergoglio, the so-called pontiff of the Church of Rome, is indeed a wanted criminal under international law. All men and women are compelled to assist the sheriffs and the deputized agents of this court in arresting Bergoglio and bringing him into our common law court for trial and sentencing. 2. As of this date, August 4th, 2013, the Roman Catholic Church is declared to be a transnational criminal organization that has forfeited its wealth, property, and authority, and its right to exist as a corporate body. It is forthwith dissolved as an organization, and its policies and laws are annulled. All persons are compelled to neither associate with nor fund this criminal body under pain of fine and imprisonment. And 3, all citizens of every nation are authorized to assist in the active disestablishment of the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican Incorporated by peacefully seizing the assets, the property, and the wealth of this church, and performing citizens' arrests on Roman Catholic Church officials and clergy, especially known or suspected child rapists. This proclamation, signed and dated by the user, will constitute the legal authorization of these actions, as will the adjoining bench warrant order for the arrest of Jorge Bergoglio, issued by our court on August 1st, 2013. These facts and the authority of the court are hereby proclaimed and ratified by the bearer and signer of this proclamation. Issued today, the 4th day of August, 2013, in the city of Brussels in Belgium by the International Common Law Court of Justice and under its authority. This proclamation is issued today in 9 languages and is being proclaimed in 21 countries publicly and across the world under the signature of George Dufour, the Secretary of the Court. My name is Kevin Annett, and I thank you.